Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to explain to you how to declare a Python string. Declaring Python string is really very easy. There are 4 ways that you can use to declare Python string. First one is that you can use single quotes to define a string. Just you need 2 single quotes and you write your string in between them. The second way is that you can use double quotes and you write your string in between them. The third way is to use 3 single quotes and you write your string in between them. The last one is to use 3 double quotes and you write your string in between them. So there's 4 ways that you can use to define a string. I'm sure that you ask why we need all of these ways to define a string. Let us go to Jupyter Notebooks and explain to you why we need these 4 ways of defining Python string. Now we are in Jupyter Notebooks and we want to define this string. You are learning Python. It's very easy. Just we need variable name =, and then we use single quotes and we write our string in between these 2 single quotes. Okay, let's just try this one. Now we define a string and let us just print it, and we print the string that we want to define. We can do the same thing with double quotes or with 3 single quotes and with 3 double quotes. All of them in this example are the same, and the question that we want to answer is why are there different ways to define a string? To answer these questions, let us try to define a string with the following content. So what's the special about this string? This string is include the special character, which is the single quote that we're using to define the string. It does use single quotes to define a string. So this is my string. See, this is my string, exactly the same as this one, which include the single quote as part of the string. And now I use 2 single quotes and I write my string in between them. Let us see what's gonna happen. We get an error. And why we get an error? Because our string include special character, and Python will get confused. It will consider this one as special characters and goes, and then it's gonna consider this one as another special characters to define a string. So it's gonna define this string because we start with single quote and we end with single quote, and then it's gonna complain about this part. This is why you see this arrow at the R. So in order to avoid this arrow, it's really very easy. Instead of using single quote, 2 single quotes, use 2 double quotes. So if your string include the special character single quotes, don't use single quotes to declare your string, use double quotes. If we use double quotes, see, we don't get any errors, and now we have our string as we want, which include the single quotes. It's really very easy. The same thing, if your string include double quotes, don't use double quote to define your string. And in this example, we're using double quotes to define our string, and we're gonna get an error. And why we get an error? Because this one is gonna consider the beginning of your string, and this is the end of your string, and then Python is gonna complain about this part. To avoid this error, since our string includes double quotes, use single quotes instead of double quotes to define your string, and you're not gonna have any problem in this case. So let's just do it, and now we don't have any problems. Another example is this example. He said, I am learning Python. What's special about this example? This example includes double quote and single quote as part of our string. So if you use single quote, we're gonna get an error. If you use double quote, we're gonna get an error. So in order to define this string, we use the third way of defining string, which is using 3 single quotes. So I use 3 single quotes at the beginning, and I use 3 single quotes at the end, and I write my string in between them. If you do this one, Python is gonna consider this is the beginning of your string, and it's gonna go, and it's gonna wait for another 3 single quotes. So it's gonna escape this one, and it's gonna escape this one because Python start with 3 single quotes. So Python is gonna wait for another 3 single quotes till it find them, and it's gonna consider this is my string. So just try this one. We get our string as we want, which include the single quotes and the double quote and the single quote as the original string. Okay, that's very interesting thing. Let us in the same example, see this example, let us use 3 double quotes to define that string. Okay, This is the string that we have, and let us use 3 double quotes. This is a very interesting example. I use 3 double quotes at the beginning, and I use 3 single quotes at the end, and this is my string. You see, this is my string, and my string end with double quotes. So what's gonna happen is this: Python will consider these 3 as the beginning of your string, and it's gonna go, and it's gonna wait for another 3 double quotes. Go. It's gonna escape this one, it's gonna escape this one, then it's gonna find this one, it's gonna consider this the first one, second one, and the third one. So it's gonna define the string something like this. This is the beginning, and this is the 3 quotes at the end, and it's gonna complain about the last one. So Python will not understand this one is part of our string here. It's gonna consider these 3 as the end of our string, and it's gonna complain about the last one. That's just right. You see, Python define the string till the end, and then it's gonna play. It's gonna say, what is this double quote doing at the end of my string? So in this example, it's you can solve this one by using 3 single quotes. Hopefully that you get the point in this example. Another very interesting thing is the backslash. We use the backslash to escape special characters. So you remember, this is the example that we did before. So this example includes a single quote, and this single quote is a special character. We can define the string by using single quote, but we use the backslash before this special characters, so that Python is gonna escape this one as a special characters. Will not consider this one as special characters. What do you mean? If we define the string like this, we're gonna get an error. Why? Because Python considers this one a special character, and it's gonna consider this one another special characters, and then it's gonna complain about this one. But if I came here and I insert backslash, Python is gonna consider this one as special character. Is gonna go. When it finds backslash, is gonna ignore this special character and treat it as a normal character or as part of our string. So let's just now add the backslash and run. We don't get an error. Let's just print it, and now we print it with the single quote as part of our string. So we use the backslash to escape any special character, either single quote or double quote. Okay, another interesting thing that I want you to know about the 3 single quotes and the 3 double quote is that both of them, they accept a new line. What do you mean by this one? If you define your string like this, okay, and then you did enter, and then you run, you see our string, we added a new line here, and our string include that new line without any problems. So the same thing here. This is my string. If I add a new line and I run, Python will understand this new line, and it's gonna print our string the way that we define it, first line and the second line. But the single quote and the double quote, only one double quote and only one single quote, they don't understand the new line. So if you did enter or new line at the end and then you run, you get an error. Let's do the same thing with the double quote. If I include a new line at the end and then I run, Python is gonna complain. And this is advantage of 3 single quote, double quotes or 3 single quote. Both of them, they accept the new line as part of your string. So that's it about declaring Python string. So let's just summarize what we studied. We have 4 ways to define a string: either single quote, double quote, or 3 single quote or 3 double quotes. We have different ways to define them so that we can avoid the special characters if our string includes that special character. Also, we can skip the special character by using the backslash. Moreover, we know that the 3 single quote and the 3 double quote, both of them, they accept a new line as part of the string, but the single quotes and the double quotes alone, they don't accept the new line at the beginning of the string. There is more that we can know about string, but this is just how to declare a Python string in general. We're gonna study more about Python string in another video.